Monday the 15th of February 1971 was a momentous day in Great Britain and Northern Ireland. On that day, now 50 years ago, the British currency was decimalised. The old 12 pence to a shilling, 20 shillings to a pound system, which had been in place in some form or another for over 1,000 years, was replaced with the more international decimal version of 100 pence to the pound. But what of the old money? Who remembers it and the more familiar names the coins had? Let's start with the good old penny. The penny was the original English coin, first struck in Kent in the 8th century, contained 1/240th part of a pound weight of silver. In Anglo-Saxon times its weight varied, but it was stabilised by William the Conqueror and it held that weight for 200 years. Britannia first appeared on Roman coins of the 2nd century AD. She was adopted for the design of the new copper pennies in 1797. She's depicted seated, set in the sea, and equipped with a trident to symbolise Britain's naval power. Let's drop down the denomination to the halfpenny. Before the reign of Edward I, this denomination was generally obtained by cutting pennies in half. The bronze halfpence or halfpenny made their first appearance in 1860. The reverse design was inspired by Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind. The next coin in value above the penny was the threepence. The silver threepence was first issued in 1551. In 1937 it was superseded by the 12-sided nickel brass threepence, the first non-circular coin to form a regular part of the British coinage. The reverse of the coin shows a coronated portcullis. Next came the sixpence, also known as the tanner. The sixpence was introduced by Edward VI in 1551. For the next 100 years, this system of the crown, half-crown, shilling, sixpence and threepence was in competition with the older medieval system based upon the penny and its multiples of the groat, which was fourpence. The reverse design was composed of a rose, a thistle, a sprig of shamrock and a leek. The shilling, or bob, was a unit of account from early Anglo-Saxon times, but a coin of the value of 12 pence was not minted until the beginning of the 16th century. The 2-shilling piece was first introduced in 1849. Its official name was the florin. The reverse of the coin shows the double rose with a circlet of radiating thistles, shamrocks and leeks. The highest denomination coin in general circulation was the half-crown. The first half-crown was issued by Henry VIII in 1526. The obverse of the piece, and on all the other denominations, bears the effigy of Her Majesty the Queen, introduced in 1953. This collection contains some of the last examples of coinage whose development can be traced back more than 1,200 years. Its foundation was the penny, which was first introduced in the 8th century, and for some 500 years was virtually the only denomination to be minted. A great variety of new denominations would then be added, mainly between the 13th and 16th centuries, and many survived in active use until the eve of the introduction of the decimal coinage on the 15th of February 1971.